very sad that I'm not able to read rugby because otherwise I could read the text.
Yeah.
Just by
for half a year,
yeah,
to be able to read
the book. What's your playing plan? Do you have a rating? Did you participate in tournaments? Not now.
No, just to practice.
No, it would be possible. I will.
You can still put the camera. You can even lead.
Everybody will make a feature.
Exactly.
Normally the photographers go after 5 minutes. You don't go. You stay all the time. I like more the other. Not the other way. Yeah, I see. Okay, so but maybe like in some days we can play a free game on the pocket chat that I tell you if you want to.
I have one to
Yes, I'm still hoping that I will become an international master at some point. Because it doesn't get easier with the page, but I still haven't lost one norm. I was once quite close to 2,400. Yeah, exactly. So maybe we can help each other to upgrade. I think I'm rooting for Taiwan. Yeah. Because for once, because studied screenplay writing at some point in his life at the University of Arts, which I also did.
Yes.
So now I can connect it to him.
Yeah. Oh wow.
We have like some common background.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, only heard it today.
From where?
From a journalist colleague who told me that he wrote it in geographical article about American sports newspaper. So I haven't researched it, but yeah. Like bringing more dynamic into the chapter, because now that's been quite a long time that Carlsen dominated everything, and I feel like it can be time to change something. And you? Yes, I'm also watching. Anything there. I think that even if we lose this time, I would expect him to come back, and we will win it back. Ja, ich weiß.
As I understand it, the press conference will begin in about 2 minutes, so the players are just arriving. So just bear with us a moment.
First opening press conference of the World Chess Championship match. First time we're seeing Fabiano and Magnus in the same room. So it's pretty exciting, and I will quickly tell you who is here, and then start the press conference. My name is Ilya Meridon, I'm the World Chess CEO, and you all know Fabiano and Magnus, of course. To the left, Mr. Dvorkovich, FIDE president, and to the right, Mr. Andrei Guriev, one of the key sponsors of the championship match. And Daniel King, the FIDE press officer, will take over the press conference, and we were wishing you a lovely time here and in the match as well.
FIDE president Arkady Dvorkovich to say a few words, please.
Thank you, Daniel. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the FIDE World Championship match 2018. I'm happy to be part of the role of FIDE president, and the World Championship match is a key event by far for the chess community, for our chess world. I would like to thank organizers, World Chess, sponsors, including Andrei and his group of companies, Kaspersky and others, also the media, for helping us to promote chess through this event. I would like to wish all the best to the players, and hopefully we will not have any issues that the arbiters or appeal committee will have to take on board and smoothly. So let's just expect fair play, excellent play from our two best players in the world, and we'll all enjoy what's happening on the board.
Thank you, Arkady. So now I'd like to invite Andrei Guriev, who's the CEO of FOSS Agro, one of the main sponsors, to say a few words.
Okay. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For us, it's a great honor to participate in such event, and here in two capacities. From one side, I'm Vice President of the Russian Chess Federation and member of the Board of Trustees. And the second is I'm the CEO of the global company FOSS Agro. And we in the chess and FIDE, we work for the last 8 years. And we start our sponsorship of World Chess and the Championship of the World in Sochi. So that was back in 2000. Then we were sponsored World Chess this championship in New York, and today, continuing with this tradition, we also helped to bring this event, this great event, here to London, to the great capital of the United States. We believe recent chess and interest to the chess is ascending in the world, so the chess and this game is developing, and basically today it moves from TV to the palm, like of your hand, on your laptop, on your computers, on your phones. and it's continuing to have a global reach. So for us, the sponsorship of this event, it's a very sound investment in our marketing, and I believe that we will continue to do so, to support FIDE, to support Russian Chess Federation with our sponsorship, and basically help to bring the chess to the new level of interest from the public.
I think you wanted to add a few words to that.
I just wanted to say thank you and welcome, and mostly thank you to the players, because it's probably by far the most waited for match, in at least in my experience. So thanks very much, and we're so much looking forward to it. And clearly, by the level of media, it's not only us who wait. Whole lots of people, and thank you very much. And of course, we'll work with the media full time during the event, and looking forward. And I see lots of familiar faces. So.
Thank you. Well, before we take some of your questions, I just wanted to put the match in a little bit of context. Magnus Carlsen, of course, won the world title in 2013 and then defended it in 2014 and 2016. This is already a remarkable series of successes. But arguably, he faces his biggest challenge to date. Caruana won through in the candidates tournament to become the challenger in March, and since then has been on a superb series of results, so that now the two players are clearly number one and number two in the world. So basically, this is the match that we've all been waiting for, and I'm sure you have questions you'd like to ask them. So we'll take a few questions, and there'll be mics handed around if you want to ask. Let me see who's going to be the first. If you want to state your name and... Okay, let's come down here, Mike. If you want to grab a mic.
This is Mike Klein with chess.com. My question is, feel like playing for America and not just yourself, considering it's been more than 40 years since the U.S. has had a world champion?
Well, I mean, I mainly try to approach tournaments as an individual. Of course, if have a success, I also would like to share it with the United States. But I mean, at the board, chess players are on their own. But of course, you know, I'm proud to be representing the U.S. in basically the highest honor in chess.
I've got another question here. If we just get the mic to.
Good afternoon. My name is Lee Wellings from Al Jazeera. Welcome to you both. May I ask Fabiano first and then Magnus the same question? The most eagerly anticipated chess match. Do you think this profiles in your age is making chess cool?
So Magnus first, please.
Personally, I was 8 years old, so I think it's always been that way.
Fabiano.
Yeah, I think that chess is definitely becoming cooler, and there are a lot of people in the celebrity world, in movies and music, who have an interest in chess. So I think it's definitely gaining more exposure. And I mean, I also think that chess is a great thing, and definitely can be very beautiful, and can also be cool and accessible to the larger audience.
Okay, let's take a question here. Gentleman with the hat and the glasses.
Anatol Widuch, Der Standard Austria. A question to Mr. Carlsen. Do you feel differently before this match than you felt before your other World Championship matches?
Well, you always feel a bit differently. I mean, I'm a bit older, so I feel a bit older. And apart from that, it's always a lot of the same. It's much anticipation, and excitement to get this thing started. And I know that I'm facing a formidable opponent, but I'll do my very best to to win again.
Okay, where are we going to go next? Ian McCauley at the back there. Let's if we can get a microphone.
Hi fellas, Macaulay Peterson from ChessBase. It's rare these days to read something in the mainstream media as a chess news junkie that I don't already know, but I did the other day with the Guardian article on Fabiano Caruana, which is a good article, but it said that you were an aspiring filmmaker who were studying screenwriting, and I was very curious about that.
Fabiano, reveal all.
I actually don't know how that came to be. It was sort of news to me, and a lot of my friends started asking me about it. I think I answered a question which said that I was interested in cinema and filmmaking, but I have no interest in being a screenwriter. I like to watch and to read, but yeah, that's about it.
Okay, here, if we can get a mic. Thank you.
Ute Kobold from German television. A question to Magnus first. How important is psychological warfare for you? And a word on bullet chess, maybe, what you think about it. And the other one is for Fabiano. You're playing against the so-called Mozart of chess. Who would you like to be in this comparison?
Okay, well, first Magnus.
I think, most of all, it matters what moves you play, what you do on the board. But an element of psychology, an element of bluff in chess. It's not as prevalent as in other games or sports, but I think people are aware of it. But it's not going to be the main story. I think this time we're just, I think, both pretty much focused on making the best moves and take it from there.
Fabiano.
Well, my musical tastes lie more outside classical music, so I'd probably pick someone either in the hip hop or the rock genre. But yeah, I mean, I think it's also this comparison to Magnus was made a long time ago when he was, a very talented up-and-coming player, and I think it was very fitting because of his great talent in chess. But I'd probably pick someone in another category.
Okay, yeah, Leoncho at the back there from El País.
Hi, I'm Leoncho Garcia from El País. My question is for Magnus. 2 years ago, immediately after the match with Karyakin in New York, you say your weakest point at that time was controlling your emotions. My question is, have you been working on that, and how?
Well, I mean, your question is very upsetting to me, so apparently... no, I think I'm a bit calmer than I was back then, but the question remains to see if I play any better. Recently, I'm confident that I'm capable of more, and probably recently I've been almost apathetic sometimes. So it's taken a turn in the other direction. So I need to find some middle ground, I suppose.
Okay, any more questions? Yes, gentleman there, right in front of me there. Yeah, if we can get a mic there.
Hello there, my name is Milan Dinic. I'm the editor of the British Chess Magazine. A question for Magnus. Do you see yourself as a favorite or as the underdog? And how would you rather that others see you? And for Fabi, what do you consider to be the biggest weakness of your opponent?
Okay, so Magnus first, please.
Well, it's it's been a while since I've considered myself an underdog. To be honest, if you've been the #1 ranked player in the world for and you've won 3 world championships and you consider yourself an underdog, then there's something seriously wrong with your psyche, I think. Having said that, obviously Fabiano is a tremendous player. His results this year speak for themselves. And I know that if I continue to play in the same vein that I have been recently, then I will probably not win. So I need to step it up, but I have great confidence in my powers to do exactly that.
Okay, fine.
Well, I don't think that Magnus has any clear weaknesses. Usually the mistakes he makes are very individual, and they don't have a clear pattern to them. And I think this also goes for most of the players at the very, very top. But that being said, he still makes mistakes, and we all do. And the only challenge is to be ready to take them when they come.
Okay, another one. Yeah, at gentleman in the blue shirt. Yeah, if you want to. Just there. Yeah. You can fight it out between you if you like.
I have a question. Sorry, I'm Ola from Norwegian newspaper VG. I have a question for Fabiano. You have changed nationality a couple of times. Do you feel American or Italian, or what do you feel?
Well, I never changed nationalities. I had dual nationality from birth, and I changed federations when I was 13. And this was more, I was a kid, and I was living in Europe, and this was mainly to get back to my roots. My mother's Italian. And when I changed back to the United States when I was in my 20s, this was a personal decision. And I do feel connected to both countries. I would like to represent both, but only one is possible. And I live in the United States and represent the US now, and I feel very close and very much an American. But I do also cherish my Italian roots.
Okay, I think we'll take 2 final questions. Yes, lady here. If we can get a mic there, please.
Hi, Lucy Hockings from the BBC. Just wondering tomorrow if you both have a ritual that you go through, what your preparation is before the game.
Magnus, do you want to take that first?
I think nothing too exciting. Unfortunately, I just try to eat well, sleep well, prepare well, play well.
Short and simple. Fabiano?
Yeah, I think that chess players generally follow some sort of routine during a tournament, and it can change from tournament to tournament. But you usually don't want to give a shock to your system, so you try to maintain some sort of flow of routine and try to maintain it. And I think it prepares you more for when you have to play, that you don't have any unexpected surprises during the day.
Sorry, Arkady, you wanted to mention something there?
Yes, just not to forget this. I had to do this at the beginning. I need to acknowledge and mention to you who the officials are for this match.
Please.
Just to give you the official information. So the chief arbiter is Stéphane Scarf from France. Stéphane, are you here? Yes, right here. And assisted by Nana Alexandria from Georgia, Grandmaster. We have FIDE supervisor Ashot from Armenia. The field committee of from Ukraine. Nigel Short, Grandmaster, who played in London 1993 against Garry Kasparov, the World Championship match, and Grandmaster Hjartarson. The combination of people will have for the match, and I'm sure they will do their best to create the best possible conditions for the players to show their best.
Thank you. So we'll just take one final question then. Let's have, yeah. You can get a mic there, please.
Hello, my name is Anna Kalaeva, Russian newspaper. A question to Fabiana. Journalists and audience started to call you a new Bobby Fischer. Is this fact more scare and frighten you, or make you feel stronger? And the question to both players, do you have a female support for this match? Thank you.
So, Fabiano, are you the new Bobby Fischer? I didn't quite catch the second question, actually, if you don't mind. But we'll do the Bobby Fischer question first, and then, are you the new Bobby Fischer?
Well, I mean, I think that the comparison is still early. You know, I think that if I become world champion, then the comparison will be more apt. But in terms of like chess style and the course of our lives, I hope. I don't think that the comparison is quite true. But of course, it's very flattering to be compared to such a great player. Anyway.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch the second question. Would you mind repeating it, please?
Question to both of players. Do you have a female support for this match?
Do you have female support for this match? I mean, you could go anywhere with that question, I think. Magnus, first to you. Do you have female support for this match?
I don't think so. Women hate me, I repel them.
Thank you, Magnus. Excellent answer. And Fabiano?
Yeah, the main female support I have is from my mother, which is, I think, the most helpful. And I also do have a lot of friends, including female friends.
Thank you very much.
Excellent, thank you. And I think that just about wraps things up. I know the players have been booked for a few short individual interviews, but for everyone else, that wraps things up. Thank you very much for attending.
Excuse me,
and
a quick
we look
question.
forward to a great match.
Daniel,
Ilya, excuse me.
No, I'll just say that you're welcome. If you haven't had a chance to look around the venue, you can do it now, do the photo shoots and kind of understand the venue a little bit better. And I just also wanted to mention that, of course, during play, this screen goes up by motor, and there is the most beautiful playing area we've ever built. So you'll definitely enjoy watching it and writing, hopefully, about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Magnus and Fabiano, and see you tomorrow.
I also didn't understand the second part of this question. Hast du verstanden, was der Carlsen als zweiten Satz gesagt hat, auf Ihre Frage mit dem Female Support? Ich habe das nicht verstanden. You want just to be funny. Some jokes. No, as you know, he was not anymore together with his Commodore. Yeah. I think that is. So he's. And of course, nobody is focusing on women. I'm sorry, just tournament. Nobody's interested in women.